there's always that little demon in you telling you that you are not cut out for it. As an employer, you take care of your workers, they will take care of you. When you are an entrepreneur, as a Muslim, you tend to really rely on Allah.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the second episode of Behind Their Success, and today I have a very special guest, Syabil, who is an investment broker from IBW Integrated Barakah Wealth, and he is also the co-founder of Balang.SG and the founder of Bodyfix SG. Welcome to the studio, brother.
Alhamdulillah.
Right, thanks a lot for having me to be interviewing you right now.
MashaAllah.
It's more of an honor of me having to interview you. Right?
It's an honor for me to come here and be interviewed by you.
Thank you so much for coming after a short notice in your invite.
Yeah.
It was only a few days back. Yeah. Then you agree. Really happy. In fact, today I have a lot of questions to ask you.
MashaAllah, bring it on.
Okay, so maybe just to give a bit of context to the audience right now who is listening on Spotify or watching it on YouTube, maybe you can share a bit more about yourself. Let's start off with the first question. Who are you actually, Syabil? Who is Syabil? Good question,
I'm an investment broker. I've been working with IBW, Integrated Barakah Wealth Advisory. For the past, IBW is new. We are new. I think it's around 5 months.
Okay,
going to half a year in this industry. But prior to that, I've been in the financial industry for 5
years.
Yeah.
So that will be 2018, 17, 18.
Yes,
Okay,
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I'm a founder of Bodyfix SG. Bodyfix SG, what we do is kita buat cupping, wet cupping, dry cupping, and also sports massage. Sports massage can be from pre-event and post-event massage, maintenance massage, and all. And also, I'm a co-founder of Balang.SG. So Balang.SG, we are involved in pop-up events, right? Pop-up events and also like bazaar and all. Yeah, so that's me. I'm a hustler.
That's good. Actually, we were toying around with the idea of this name hustling or hustler for our talk show. Then it's like, alamak, macam overuse that word.
Hustle demi hasil
Hustle demi hasil. Actually, I have one agent who use this.
Hustle demi hasil, right?
Bukan, I hustle, you hustle. This one shout out to Kai Shazwan. It's your tagline. So, okay, that's good. So, just to share a bit more to the audience. So, Balang.SG is something that is very prominent in in the events, So, we're going to touch a bit more on that. And then we're going to, of course, go deep into how your upbringing, in terms of your past and what made you want to be an entrepreneur. Because you mentioned you've been in the finance industry since 2017. So that's actually a long time.
That's a long time.
Yeah. So, and right now, if you are okay, what's your age this year?
I'm 29 this year.
29. So 29, which means 6 years ago, 23 years old.
Yes.
So that's a very young age
very young.
To start because at 23 baru lepas NS, 21 usually they about 20, 21. They still want to work somewhere full time, and if I'm not wrong, you also work full time before, or you did, right?
Right from NS, straight away I jumped into finance industry.
Okay, interesting. Yes. Okay, so maybe you can share a bit more like your upbringing, how you grew up. Did you grow up in a family of in a family who runs business as well, or just normal family who works full time outside? What's your upbringing like?
My upbringing was like, my dad, he's self-employed.
Okay,
he runs his own business. Few businesses along the ways. And then my mom is a full-time housewife. She used to work, but ever since raising us up, I have 3 siblings plus me, 4 lah. Right, so raising the 4 of us wasn't easy for her, so she had to be a stay-home mom.
Are you the eldest?
No, I'm the second.
The second, okay.
Yeah. I think it's 2016. I couldn't really recall.
Okay.
My younger sister passed on.
Oh,
So when my younger sister passed on,
the youngest.
the youngest,
Okay.
she was 12 years old.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
11 years old going to 12 years old. So
right, primary six.
yeah, she passed on due to a very rare disease.
Okay.
It's called, I think it's called Kearns-Sayre syndrome or something like that.
Okay.
So it's something that it's got to do with her growth. Yeah, so at some point of time, her body just couldn't grow. The immune system, everything was down, and also slowly and slowly, she passed on lah. Yeah.
Okay.
So ever since that, my whole family took a downturn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my dad had to, do a lot of jobs just to make ends meet. We have hospital bills to cover,
Yeah.
the house and everything, and he's working alone.
Right.
Whereas me, my brother, we are forced to continue and study, don't work. Because my dad says, no, that is his responsibility. Let me take care of all of you. You just focus on what you need to do, which is to study. Yeah. Be a good student lah, they say, right?
Your sister's condition was detected early on or
Early, actually, her sickness was detected when she was, I think, 1 year old or 2 years old.
I see.
Yeah, it was really, really young. So the doctor actually told my dad that they actually expect her to live for a few years only. But she outlived their expectations, Alhamdulillah. I think that itself is a miracle lah. Yeah. So yeah, she's the little star in our family lah, mashallah. Throughout the years I'm studying, I have always wanted to become a sports scientist.
Okay.
Cita-cita tu tinggi lah, right? So I wanted to. But somewhere along the line, I find like, I think my interest stops there.
This is when you studied sports science,
Yeah, sports science.
Okay, got
Yeah, in RP. So I was like, should I continue or should I not?
Okay.
So the hunger for that dream to come true is not there. Yeah. So I was like, okay, never mind, let's just go through with NS first. So when I go through NS, during my NS time, spoke to my dad and my mom, asking them what should I do? What should I do in future? Knowing that my dad is a business owner and he's a hustler himself. I've witnessed it from my own eyes. But my mom, she used to be an accountant. So it's from two environment, two industry. So much difference. My mom is a salary, the salary structured kind of thing. So after talking to them, I was like deciding, okay, let's just do something out of the blue. Because I don't know what to do at the point of time. I wanted to sign on, but my application, I don't know why, I just cannot sign on.
So
it's
funny,
okay, if
for
I,
police kan?
For police. So I cannot sign on. So what to do? It's like really blank. So I was like, let's try. Bila buat research ni semua kan. Ni macam baik lah financial consultant ni, apa benda ni nak tahu kan.
So you didn't know anything about financial consultant?
At that point of time I didn't know because I was like, apa ni financial consultant Okay, let's just give it a try lah. So talk to my dad's friend, who is I think a wealth manager.
Okay.
Yeah. So spoke to him, get to know about the industry and all. Yeah, so that's when I told my dad, okay, I think I want to try and join this industry lah. So my dad told me it's not easy, because this one is self-employed. You don't have any working experience.
Yes.
So how are you going to handle? It's like, I'm still young. Let me just try lah. So I tried. So Alhamdulillah, passed the exam and everything. Went into the industry, the financial industry.
Okay. And this was in
2017. Yeah. Looking upon my dad's effort, my dad's dedication to the family and all, makes me want to be like him.
Got it.
So that's where I try.
But was he supporting you, or was he giving you more doubts like, hey, this is not easy? Like, how would you
My dad is very supportive.
Okay.
He doesn't stop me from whatever things that I want to do. So that's one thing good about him. And he's also the adventurous kind. So the advice that I got from him, I always get this advice from him lah. If that thing is good, you weigh the pros and cons. If let's say more pros than the cons, then why not go for it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just put your heart and soul into it
Mm-hmm.
and don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
But if let's say that thing is a bad thing, then just don't go lah.
Yeah,
Don't go
yeah.
towards that direction.
Okay, I want to ask a bit more from the earlier thing that you shared with me about your dad. So you mentioned he run few businesses, right?
Mhm.
What kind of business that
I do medical concierge business.
medical concierge?
Yeah, so he brings in clients from the neighbouring countries. For
Okay.
example, macam daripada Indonesia.
Okay.
Clients from Indonesia, he do medical evacuations, then link them up with a specialist in Singapore hospital lah, private hospital. My mum is the totally opposite.
Uh-huh.
My mum was very insecure because she keeps on telling me, "Dik, ni kerja tak ada CPF tau, Dik.
Yeah. Yeah.
Macam mana kau nak survive? Nanti kau nak kahwin tu macam mana? Kau nak
Yeah.
beli rumah macam mana?" No, she has a
lot of
lot of
doubts,
concerns, a lot of doubts
yeah.
lah. Because I think maybe because of her experience, the hardship that maybe my mum and my dad went through, that they didn't tell us.
Yeah.
Because kita masih kecil, baru kita tak faham.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she addressed the concern. But then at the point of time I was like thinking, it's okay, I got more cash on hand. I'm in better control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being young, yeah. So it's like okay. So it's okay lah, CPF nantilah boleh fikir. Kita jantan tak ada CPF lah orang kata.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's okay, I got more cash. Okay, alhamdulillah, masya-Allah. So that's where the challenge actually comes in, because when you don't have any experience, you, especially working experience lah, I would say, you tend to splurge. Because you don't know how hard is it to earn that money, And I think maybe I'm speaking based on my experience lah. When I was young, I mean at that point of time in 2017, alhamdulillah, my career was good. But there's just some things about entrepreneurship that wasn't being taught to me, or I wasn't really know of. For example, we know that being a self-employed, we don't have CPF. That's one. Actually, that can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. It's a double-edged sword for me. If you have a proper financial planning for yourself, then you will be at a better place lah. Right? You will be better than someone who are earning a normal salary. But then, if let's say you are earning so much, but you spend so much, you don't have that so-called CPF savings, then you are better off just working lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Ya, so darah muda nak gairah beli ni beli tu, kan, end up back to square one.
Yeah.
Savings wasn't part of the plans lah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, short term punya plan, the short term plan that you have is possibly just saving up for the wedding.
That's all.
That's about it. And
Yeah.
your dates.
More of like
Yeah.
let's just save a little bit more so I can go for a date, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's more like that. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, since you mentioned your dad run some business and then suddenly you jump into entrepreneur, was that the reason why you had that idea or attraction towards entrepreneurship?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I jumped into entrepreneurship because of my dad.
Okay.
I think there's maybe that one is a little bit a part of me lah. Yeah. Maybe a small portion.
And
But
what makes you, or which point of time you feel you discovered that interest?
it was in 2020s. Okay, so a little backstory about myself. Last time in 2017 I was in AIA.
Yeah.
Okay, so from 2017 to 2020, I was doing well, alhamdulillah. But in 2020 there was this thing, there was COVID.
Yeah.
Right, so during COVID, my business was affected. Okay, I'm not sure whether other agents also experienced it or not. I'm sure some of them are in my positions. Business was affected, future business was affected, and then, of course, there's no cash flow. So that's why I was thinking, I need to do something about it lah. Because at that point of time I have car, and then after that, me and my partner, we were already planning to settle down, bila time nak settle down pula, like this kind of thing happen, right? So I think I need to go with a plan B. Let's just find something that is secure. It's my survival mode already now. Okay, so so I venture into another industry in dormitory line. So I became a dormitory manager, dorm executive and all. In the span of that 2 years.
So you stumble onto this job again?
So I was just talking to my cousin.
Okay.
Hey, what should I do? I think I need to do something because I need income.
Yeah.
And also I need to I want to settle down. Then my cousin told me, hey, there is this job opening, in dormitories. Maybe you might want to try. So okay, I just send in my resume. Then Alhamdulillah, I managed to get into the company. 2 years I was in dormitory line. But in the span of that 2 years, I suffered internally. Inside me, I suffered because I realized that I cannot work for people. Maybe it's because of my experience. I don't know. It's just that I don't really feel the sense of fulfillment.
Yeah.
In that industry, in that company. Especially when I put so much work and I'm being paid for this much. To me, the effort and the reward doesn't tally. It doesn't match. So I told myself, I think I can do so much more if I am not tied up to a company. So that's when I start to brainstorm for things to do. What can I do? Should I go back to insurance? Should I do something else? I was still in search of doing things.
But you lasted 2 years. 2 years is considered very long also.
2 years. It takes me 2 years. So during that 2 years, even though I suffered, but like I told you, it's my survival mode, right?
Yeah.
So during that 2 years, I get to get married and I get to apply for a house.
Okay.
I mean, it's easier lah. When you are working with a company, you just need to apply. You just need 3 months of your CPF statement, right?
Yeah.
3 months pay slip, is
Correct.
3 months pay slip to apply for your HLE.
Yeah.
So the process is easier as compared to being an entrepreneur or self-employed. So being a self-employed, there's a lot of things that you need to declare. Yeah. So I took advantage of the situation.
Right. So even though you didn't like being in that position, but it's required for you to go through this phase of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I told myself, it's okay. Just endure this phase for a while. I told myself, this is only temporary. I know I'll be doing something more after this. It's just that I need to settle down first.
Yeah.
My personal life all settle down first.
Yeah. At least you don't have the mental burden.
Correct. At least I get a house. I settle down with my wife. I provide a shelter for my wife.
Yeah, correct.
Then after that, I can proceed on with whatever my plannings are.
I think this one, a lot of people can relate to this where they don't like where they are right now. But they have to be where they are right now just so that they can sustain certain phase of life like house, kids, family. But that's not the end because you've proved it. Otherwise, saying that this is not what you are made for. This is just a phase of life that you have to go through to become greater, that kind of thing.
Correct.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
I keep on telling myself, sampai bila aku nak macam gini?
Yep.
Aku hari-hari nak kena report. Be in the dormitory punya line, I need to be at work as early as 7 a.m.
Okay.
Because it's a shift thing. Sometimes I need to work 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then after 2 p.m. I got nothing. Then sometimes I need to come to work at 2 p.m. until 8 p.m. So the working shift is like quite odd for me. And then there are another company that I went into. It was a management role. It was an executive role. So there wasn't any OT and wasn't any overtime. But our job scope requires us to work until night time. Sometimes we have to do the dormitory inspections, check on the foreign workers' welfare and all. So there's a lot of factors that actually makes me don't want to come back to working for people.
How badly affected were you during the circuit breaker? That really, when everything was on lockdown, did you feel anxious right from the start when they announced the lockdown, atau you feel okay lah, maybe it will take only 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
At first I thought it will be a temporary thing, like a short one lah. Maybe macam 2 weeks ke, 1 month kind of lockdown. After that dah.
Because the first announcement was for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they announced the lockdown, my phones were quite busy lah. A lot of my clients were asking, what will happen to my plans? What if I cannot pay? So then some of them were...
They asked right when it was announced.
Some of them they asked. So they were telling me their concerns. Some of them, they had to stop working, that kind of things. So along the way, some of my clients, they got retrenched. And also, I was thinking, okay, this kind of thing is unforeseen. We don't want it to happen, right? So I was thinking, it's a genuine rejection, whereby they really cannot sustain the plan. So what can you do? You cannot be forcing them to, tahan lah, or I pay for you. Mana boleh macam gitu kan? It's unethical. So I told them it's okay. Just do what you can do now. It's on survival mode already. It's whatever you have is for your family, for yourself. You have to sustain lah. Tahan a bit more lah. InsyaAllah we will go through this together.
But at the same time, you were also feeling...
At the same time, yes, I was feeling scared. I was feeling anxious because my salary got... not my salary. Yeah, my salary got affected. Yeah. So...
Don't mind me asking, so how much on average were you earning at that point of time, like with AIA?
With AIA, I think before COVID Before COVID, 4, 5, sometimes 3, it depends lah.
Yeah.
Because being a self-employed is not always constant, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So during COVID, my salary got cut down. I mean, almost half almost half.
A lot. Yeah.
So I felt the pinch. So I was like, ni tak boleh jadi sini. I mean, because I have pending cases. Like they want to come in. So along the way, they decided, Bill, we have to put it on hold first. Cannot. Because I am not sure whether I will be staying in this job or not. Then I was like, oh yeah, true. That's a genuine one lah. It's like, okay lah, then it's okay. I'm the type of person who don't like to push for sales.
Yeah, you don't like to hard sell also.
Yeah, I don't like to hard sell because I like to do genuine business with people. Yeah, so when that happens, I was like, okay, it's okay. Ni semua kehendak Allah. Kita just jalankan tugas je. It's okay.
For dormitory, you mentioned 2 years, and then you discovered that turning point towards entrepreneurship was 2020. 2020. But at that point of time, you didn't do anything yet towards that entrepreneurship. Like you just went into the dormitory line lah. Okay. So when at that point of time during the job that you feel, okay, I need to get out already. It's time already. I cannot delay it.
How I transit from the job that I was in to being a full-time doing business, self-employed. It was when, if I still remember correctly, is in 2021. We are planning. I met up with my partners. At the point of time we are not really partners lah. So we just talking. What should we do? I'm telling them. I told them, I'm tired of working for people. I really cannot tahan already. But I don't know what to do.
How was your mental health though at that point of time? Like being in a job that you don't like and you know that you are cut out for something bigger. Like how was your mental health? Like did you macam every night you just feel like, what am I doing in my life, that kind? Is it?
Dalam otak saya fikir aku ni dah macam robot tau.
Yeah.
So every morning bangun, pergi kerja, balik, tidur. Bangun, pergi kerja, balik, tidur. Like I don't really have time like to really think of myself.
Yeah.
Think of what I want to do and all. So it was mentally draining for me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to the point of depression lah.
Okay.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. So I talked to my wife, I talked to my partners about it. And then we discussed, what should we do? Okay, let's just do some research. So we did some research and all. Then I came up with the idea. Apa kata kita buat business air lah. macam okey air air pun senang pun nak buat.
Correct.
We were thinking senang pun nak buat, air je. Okay, kita try. So we look at the different concepts that is available and what kind of concepts do we want. That's why kita tengok the concept of balang ni macam interesting ah. Ni balang punya concept, the way they scoop the drink, it makes people macam macam nak minum ah. Kan? Tu orang apa bancu-bancu air tu macam baik ah. So we decided to go with that concept.
Okay.
So going with that concept, but we know kalau kita nak masuk macam gini, sama je macam kedai balang lain.
Correct.
So how can we be different?
How many was involved in that thought process?
Me and my partner, 2 orang lah.
2 orang, okay.
Kita fikir, kita nak kena jadi different tau gini. So there's a lot of discussion, a lot of planning. And that was before the R&D. This is just how to start this whole thing. Macam mana nak solidify the idea that we have, to see whether it can work or not. So itu je makan masa dalam 3-4 bulan.
Okay.
Because kita betul-betul fikir ni tak jadi tak boleh. Because we are really serious about it.
Correct.
So we put all our heart and soul into the planning.
Yeah.
So that's when sometimes I had to just take urgent leave. Sometimes I just take MC because my mind is already not at work.
Yeah.
So no point already for me. I'm just going to work for attendance. For just nak dapatkan salary je lah.
Yeah.
But other than that, my mind is everywhere. Break time also, I do my research and all.
What were some of the other ideas aside from this concept?
I thought because last time in 2018, 2019 lah, me and my wife kita ada buat lava cake.
Okay.
And a few partners as well lah. So it was a partnership business.
Yeah.
It was a small one, cuma kita nak try je. So kita jual lava cake, chocolate lava cake, onde-onde lava cake, creme brulee, Then kita tengok macam ada potential. So that was one of my idea. Ingat tak? Okay, kita start balik this lava cake. Or I was thinking apa lagi aku boleh buat selain daripada balang, apa lagi aku boleh buat But nothing comes into mind other than balang because the idea of just buat air is so much simple daripada idea-idea lain. The prep work is we thought it wasn't going to be as tedious as other businesses . So that's why we let's just zoom into balang.
Okay.
Yeah.
The name was already
no.
Not yet.
No, the concept is balang.
Okay.
But the name pun lagi satu hal. Kita nak fikir pasal nama juga kan. Kita fikir nama apa nak buat At first adalah macam balang Singapura lah, apalah semua. Then I was thinking since we are in Singapore balang wasn't really, tak banyak orang tahu. I mean orang-orang lama diorang tahulah macam air balang. Tapi orang tak tahu Singapore ni ada balang. Balangnya service, that kind of thing. That's why I was thinking, let's just be different, let's just be bold. Kita punya neighbouring semua ada balang, tak kisah. Tapi kita kat Singapore ni, we call ourselves Balang.SG. Jadi kalau orang tengok, Balang.SG, ni daripada SG, daripada Singapore. Balang.SG. Something different lah. Dia ada dia punya dia. Tak tahu asal. Dia cakap Balang.SG tu macam, okay. Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
So that's where the name comes in lah.
Right. So you did all your research, R&D. How many flavors do you have for balang?
Currently we have 19 flavors.
19. But you don't
18 flavors.
Okay.
We have 18
But
flavors.
you don't open up all 18 flavors.
We open up all 18 flavors.
Really?
Yeah. Usually lah. Okay. Kalau let's say kita ada cukup space, then we will flush 18 flavors.
But when you first started, how many?
I think 10.
How you
10 ke 8 around there.
How you manage to finalize or decide on the flavors, and how you do the R&D in terms of nak buat to make that drinks Of course there are certain
there's
ingredients.
a lot of things to consider bila kita buat R&D. Because bila kita buat R&D tu is not just about warna dia lawa. Dia bukan gitu je. Warna nak kena lawa and dia nak kena sedap. It has to be nice to look at and nice to drink. So, but to achieve these two, it's really hard because it takes so much time and it takes so much effort. A lot of work needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so me and my partners, we go through like the different flavors.
Mm-hmm.
Kita try, then kita buat survey, kita check with our families and friends, you know, let them taste, then get the feedback from them lah. Boleh go tak ni air? Rasa sedap tak? Bila most of them cakap sedap, ada cakap macam, aku nak lagi lah. Ataupun diorang cakap macam, baik apa? Once they got the feedback, kita tengok dia punya colour dia appealing and kita rasa okay, baru kita buka officially lah. Yeah. So it's a repetition lah. Flavor after flavor after flavor after flavor. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like that.
But before you started this, have you tried before the drinks, or is just really pure research and then you just try out? And is there any failed recipe?
Of course, there's a lot of failed recipe.
A lot of,
Ada yang idea rasa tawa gila,
Okay.
ada yang idea rasa macam pelik. Like really pelik macam, ni tak boleh ni.
Okay.
Macam pelik pula ni. Takut orang tak boleh terima kan.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of mistakes lah
Got it.
during the R&D, but it's good.
Yeah.
Mistakes can actually build us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was back in 2021.
2021.
And when was your first event?
Kita punya first event is during mak besar punya event is in August. So kita sekarang ni dah 1 year lah. Balang.SG baru.
Seems so long, bro.
Yeah. But the whole planning and the thought process was very long.
2021, that means 2 years lah? Oh no. Is it?
No, 2021 was kita punya planning.
Oh, okay. You started 2022. Okay.
Kita started 2022. So kita macam kita nak buat. So kita put our heart and soul into it, right? So there's a lot of going back and forth. Jadi tak jadi.
Yeah.
No, that kind of things.
Yeah.
And then along the way tu macam maybe I'm not cut out for it. You know, there's always that little demon in you telling you that you are not cut out for it.
Right.
You are comfortable now. Asal nak kena? Why must you like put yourself through so much hardship?
Yeah.
Relax lah. Sekarang kita dah ada kerja apa? There's always that little demon in me. So fight. Alhamdulillah. So December 2021, at that point of time, I told my boss, this month will be my last month. I don't want to work anymore. So I give my resignation letter. Then after that, I focus on Balang.SG.
Right. Wow. But okay, just run through with me the process of R&D again. So you got the flavors and everything. In terms of costing, how do you do the costing? By ingredients, because one thing about F&B, you need to be very detailed.
Yes.
What goes into each cup or each, if let's say in terms of food, each pack, what's the cost? So how you do all the costing?
There's a lot of things to consider. The ingredients, berapa banyak ingredients kita pakai, dari mana, and also the packaging, and also your labor cost. A lot of times people include ingredients and packaging, but they didn't include in labor. Yeah, so that sometimes can eat up into your cost price lah.
Because one thing about drinks especially, you are working with quantity.
Correct.
I mean, you cannot price too high. So
correct. So our vision for Balang.SG, when we started, we discussed and we came to an agreement that, you know what, if you are going on board to this business, let's make our pricing reasonable for people. Because we've seen some shops, diorang jual dia punya air dia like 750 ml or 500 ml, but the price is like $6, $7, for that much, and then sedut 1-2 kali dah habis.
Correct.
So kita find it macam cannot be like that lah. We try to be different lah. So That's where we come up with a 1 liter milk cup,
Yeah.
the bucket cup 1 liter at $5.
Yeah.
So all our flavors all standardized $5.
Yeah.
Make it easy for us to count our finance and make it easy for the customer to just just pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes them feel worth it. Yeah.
That's true actually, because a lot of people just think about cost in their ingredients and everything, but labor is actually a huge cost.
Huge cost.
Yeah.
Huge cost.
Then, I mean, of course, while you run the event, sometimes you realize you are actually lacking in manpower, and you need to get.
Yeah.
That is another added cost,
Correct.
variable cost,
Correct.
that kind of thing. So, because what's interesting about your drink is, the first impression to me was the packaging. Yeah. The
Alhamdulillah.
packaging itself, the bucket, because
Yeah.
yours is 1 liter, kan?
Yeah, 1
Yeah,
liter bucket.
But other shops, they use the plastic cups, and the plastic cup
Yeah.
lah, 1 liter, the Thai milk tea,
Yeah,
that kind
yeah.
of thing, kan. So when I first purchased when I purchased something, I was like analysing tau. Macam mana ni buat duit okay. Like this one, they have a lot of flavors, $5. I try to reason out, then I look at the bucket, then I look at the manpower you all have, because at that point of time, when I went to your shop, you have about, if I'm not wrong, you have about 5, including yourself, if I'm not wrong. Including yourself, about 5. So, of course, these are all running costs.
Running cost, yes.
Yeah, so that's why I asked you in terms of the costing. How you do the costing? Like how many manpower you project that you need to have.
So that's when your budgeting comes into place.
Yeah.
If you go into a business without a proper budgeting, without a controlled capital,
Yeah.
because capital there is an initial capital and running capital, right?
Yeah.
So that running capital you have to control.
Yeah.
You have to keep max that I can use is this amount. Let's try our best not to hit the limit or exceed the budget.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when it exceeds, it affects the whole budgeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we try to control our budget,
Yeah.
this kind of thing. So, and then for manpower, but however, for manpower, we believe that we should really take care of the workers.
Yeah.
We should really take care of the manpowers. If we, as an employer, you take care of your workers,
You take care of us.
they will take care of you.
Yeah.
And the whole environment will be healthy.
Yeah.
It's a healthy working environment. Yeah, so we invested a little bit more on manpower.
Understand.
Yeah.
Got it. So, was there a time where, after assessing the costing, you compromise on certain things? Maybe, for example, if let's say you feel the cost of that bucket is high, will you have compromised that and go to the normal plastic cup, or die you know that you want to get this bucket?
Die.
Really?
Yeah.
And you got the
Because-
supply from China lah. Standard .
Depends. So, the cup symbolize us.
That's interesting.
Balang.SG.
That's good.
Yeah. Of course, that
Right.
balang, the big balang, the water dispenser, and also our cup. It
Yeah.
symbolize us.
I love it. Your whole concept, I totally love it. Down from the impression that you give when people walk past, the variety of colours that
Yeah.
you display, and then down to the cup where I would say it's a customer experience, where you get that cup and it's like, wow, this is 1 liter, it's huge, and you can reuse that bucket. I'm sure a lot of people who bought from Balang, they actually reuse the bucket. So it's really that kind of experience. If you really go in depth about this whole concept, down from the serving part, down to from the serving part all the way to having that bucket and what can you use for that bucket, it's really an experience in each step.
MashaAllah.
That's why I love your concept. That's why I wanted you to be here lah. Yeah, so that's why I'm very interested. Very very interested and curious to know like the thought process you have throughout the whole R&D, the selling part in terms of the events. And were you confident that when you join the event, you will get good response?
No.
Okay.
Honestly speaking, no. Because, yes, we know it's somehow or rather a new concept.
Yeah.
It's an old concept. How to say?
Modernize it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are modernizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we don't know how people is going to react or respond to our business.
Yeah.
That is beyond our control.
Yeah.
So of course we have our anxiety,
Yeah.
but we also have our target, you know. So we told ourselves, okay, let's try for this first event. Don't have much expectation.
Okay.
As long as you hit break even, it's good enough. At the end of the day, kita nak break even je dulu.
Okay, and if you don't mind sharing, what was the number of cups you have to sell to break even? The first event.
Per day,
Uh-huh.
per day, 3 cartons of cups. Yeah, per day around 900.
Per day 900. So that is a Friday to Sunday event.
Mm.
900 per day to break even.
Mm.
How many hours
So
for the event
our
per
target
day?
was actually around 9 cartons
Okay.
per event.
Okay.
Initially our target was that. So kita
So
macam
per hour, how many cups do
So-
you have to sell? So 900, the event probably lasts maybe 10 hours.
Yeah.
Assuming I just take it as 10
yeah,
hours.
around 10 hours.
About 90 cups just to break even, to cover your cost of
Mm.
ingredient, the stall.
Yeah,
Uh,
ingredients, store, manpower.
Yeah.
Our first event, right? We buy
Yeah.
equipments.
Yeah,
All of that lah.
the capital.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we are trying to cover back our capital.
Wow, 90 cups an hour actually is not that easy.
It's not easy. It's
Yeah,
not easy.
Because, I mean, we only have 60 minutes per hour,
Yeah.
which means every minute you need to serve at least
Yeah.
1.5 cup, like
Yeah.
streaming customers coming in.
It's not easy.
That's a high
So
target.
bila kita punya first event tu, the turnout was good, the response was good, and honestly kita buat air pun tak banyak, tapi semua habis, alhamdulillah. So it's like we were telling ourselves macam, the response is good. Let's go for another event.
Yeah.
We see how it goes. Then the cycle begins from there. We go for another event, and then from one event to another event to another event, sampailah sekarang. Yeah.
So, for your first event, you break even or you make money?
We make a little bit of money.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So alhamdulillah for the event, then after that kita manage to roll to another event.
Yeah.
Yeah, so slowly we grow from there.
Okay, now just to pause a bit. So you are doing this Balang.
Mhm.
That Bodyfix that you founded, when was that again?
Okay. So Balang is an apa ni? By event basis,
Okay.
right? So it's not always there.
Yeah.
So that's when I told my wife lah, okay, takkan nak rely on Balang aja.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have CPF.
Yeah.
So I need more income.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, what I learned, you cannot have one stream of income. You need to have more.
Yeah.
More stream of income, okay, that's where you have the peace of mind. In case something happens to this business, you have other sources of income
Yeah.
to support you.
Yeah.
So that's why my wife told me, you dulu buat bekam, you dulu buat urut, and then you are in sports science. You have been helping our silat club. To urut orang ni semua. Why
But
not?
your wife was a pesilat as well? Or-
Yeah.
Oh,
She was a pesilat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she was the one who gave me the idea lah. Why not just start doing lah. Make it known lah. Okay, so buka lah Bodyfix. So at that point of time I was running Bodyfix dengan Balang.SG. Dua-dua serentak. So bila tak ada Balang, I do Bodyfix.
So this Bodyfix business help to fill up that gap of not having events.
Yes.
And then after that,
In
back
between
to,
events lah.
Yeah, in between events.
between
Then after that,
events.
back to Balang. And then
Yeah.
once done for the weekend, back to Bodyfix.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's I have to agree with you in terms of the multiple avenues of
Yes.
income, streams of income. Although there are opinions out there who says that you need to only focus on one,
Yeah.
and
And there's
don't be distracted.
nothing is right and nothing is
Yeah.
wrong.
Right, but to me personally, I'm with you on this opinion also, where you need to have a few streams of income. Maybe you don't have to pressure yourself to have different industry.
Yeah.
It can be in the same industry, or at least a linked up industries.
Yes.
Where Balang can still coincide with Bodyfix in a
Yes.
certain way.
Correct.
And then now we're gonna touch on your IBW.
Yeah.
How that can actually help you with your IBW.
Yeah.
I think it's quite linked, because I feel it's still got to do with personal branding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bodyfix some people, or I would say possibly half of your clients at least, don't go to Bodyfix because of Bodyfix.
Yeah.
They go to
Correct.
Bodyfix because of Syabil.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah, and of course IBW didn't go to IBW because of IBW. It's because of Syabil.
Yeah.
It's still back to personal branding. So it's
Correct.
still linked to one, which is
Yes.
yourself.
There's always a link lah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unless you suddenly want to do Balang, then out of nowhere just engineering.
correct.
Totally different things.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So you did the Balang first after you resigned from the dormitory. In between, you went into Bodyfix. You opened up Bodyfix, and then after that, that's when the next step is going back into the
financial industry. Yes, that's right. Yes.
Why?
I still remember last year. Yeah, last year around December. I told my wife, I think maybe it's time for me to go back to the finance industry. Don't you think? Then she was like saying, if you are going back to the insurance industry and you are going to be like last time, I don't approve.
What is like last time?
Then I told you when I was young, I splurged on things, that kind of thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so she is reminding me. She was reminding me to not be like my old self. Now you are an entrepreneur. Now you have a responsibility. You have a wife and you have a house. Jangan main-main. So she was like giving me that warning lah. Kau jangan main-main. Kalau kau nak masuk, be serious about it. So I told her, okay boleh, insyaAllah. That's when I approached a few people. Then I met up with a friend of mine, Kamarullah. So he's a director of IBW. So I spoke to him, talked to him. Then the idea of going into IBW is actually not to be another insurance agent, because IBW ni is an independent punya firm. So we are linked to Sing Capital.
Okay, Sing.
Yeah.
Right.
So IBW represents 15 over companies, from insurer to banks to investment firms. There's a lot of company tie-ups. So have you heard of macam Tiger Brokers, iFast, DBS, PSB, mestilah tahu kan?
Correct.
UOB. So we are linked up to all these companies. When he told me, being an investment broker, it is so much different than being an insurance agent. So the work that we do is different. Although we can sell the same, we can sell the same products, but we have more
products or options.
More options for our clients, and lagi fair lah for your clients. If let's say this company is expensive, I can get for you a cheaper one from another company. So you are actually instead of you representing one company, you are representing your clients, and you get the best suite of solutions for your clients from the different companies. So I was like, wow, this is good. I mean, I can be fair to my clients. If it's cheap, I will say it's cheap. If it's expensive, I will say it's expensive for you. It's a good decision that I made to join IBW.
That is early this year.
Early this year.
Okay.
Correct.
But when you joined IBW, of course, I'm sure you didn't have the thought of doing this only eventually and then giving up the other businesses.
No, definitely not.
Right.
Yeah, because like I told you, I'm a believer of as an entrepreneur, you have different stream of income, right?
Okay.
So right now I'm still hustling. I'm still in the midst of hustling to build my own empire. Yeah, so that's where Balang.SG is, Bodyfix SG, and also IBW. Yeah, these three.
How I see it is, these three businesses, you still have to be involved.
Yes.
Okay, so plans for Balang.SG and plan for Bodyfix, upcoming, in terms of coming months, do you feel that you should slowly pull yourself away and let it self-run?
Automation has always been in my mind, because I've spoke to a few mentors. For you to not be burnt out in your own business, you need to let it automate. Yes, you really need to automate the business so you can have a peace of mind. So yes, I am leaning towards that.
I ask you this because I'm also facing this period of transitioning where I want to go from self-employed. You know, there's these four components where you are employed, self-employed, business owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another one I can't remember. So I'm trying to transition from self-employed to
Business
business
owner.
owner.
Yes.
You know, where self-employed, you are still tied up. You're
Yes.
still being involved in
Yes.
every single
Correct.
aspect. You know, whereas business owner, you can pull yourself away and
Yes.
it runs.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's interesting that you mentioned about the burnout also because I face multiple burnouts
Definitely.
because of this exact reason.
Oh.
I'm just so involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I of course the main one is real estate and stuff like that. So real estate, no choice.
You have to be.
You have to be.
there.
Yeah, but slowly I've been delegating works that
Yeah.
don't require my face.
Yeah.
You know, like admin and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. Yeah, so now I'm trying to transition. That's the reason why I asked you, like, are you going to transition from that self-employed to actually business owner?
Yeah.
You punya mindset, you know. Yeah, so yeah, that's good that you have this idea of automation.
Have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be a self-employed for the rest of your life. Dia punya burnout dia only you can explain
Yeah,
lah.
yeah.
How to
This is
pick yourself up
crazy.
because you're
Yeah.
self-employed. You don't have, if you don't have a support system,
Yeah.
it's really hard for you to get back to your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, requires a lot of motivation.
You faced burnouts before? I assume,
Definitely.
right? You have, right? So let's touch a bit more on this because I love this topic about burnout because sometimes I feel I can handle it, but sometimes I just
Sometimes
Let
we
go.
thought we can handle it,
yeah. Yeah.
but actually we can't.
Yeah, that's right. And burnouts is something that people tend to push aside. They feel that it's just something that, you know, it's
Temporary,
created,
yeah.
self-created.
Correct.
You know? But burnout, so when you feel that burnout, what's the worst kind of burnout you have faced? Like how you are yourself. Like for me, just to give an example, for me, I'm scared to touch my phone. The moment I feel that high level of burnout, I'm scared to even touch my phone or even to talk to people. I'll pull myself away from
Yeah.
from everyone.
Just isolate yourself.
Just isolate myself.
So for me, I isolate myself. Either in my room or like now I have a house, in my own house lah. I try not to contact people, talk to people. Sometimes I zone.
Okay.
So when people talk to me, I'm just like zoning. Then I was like, "Hey, Syabil, are you here?" Yeah, I'm here. But actually, I'm like, I don't know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's just floating.
Yeah, just floating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you manage that? How you recover from that?
For me, I implement a me time for myself.
Okay.
So I know when I'm about to get a burnout. For me, if let's say, for the whole month, like I have a lot of things that I need to do. I will make sure that I will have some time for myself, just for myself. Do what I like to do.
And what do you like to do?
I like to look at the chart.
Chat.
Chart.
Okay.
Technical analysis.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird.
No, weird, but it's just interesting. Okay. Okay.
So I like to look at charts, look at trading videos, look at motivational
charts. It's
charts.
trading.
Charts.
Oh,
Trading
okay,
charts.
okay. Got it.
You fikir apa? Chart rumah?
I was like, I don't know. In my head, I was like charts macam like that. What do you call it? Marine charts ke apa?
Oh, no. Tak.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so I like to look at that lah.
Trading. Okay.
Yeah, trading. I like to look at motivational videos.
Right.
Kisah-kisah Rasulullah. Like that kind of thing kan.
Understand.
But like just the whole day tu, I buat tu je. Tak ada benda lain.
Okay.
So I don't touch my phone. Like my wife just asked me, have you eaten? Yeah, I've eaten. Just check on her. I just don't get involved in other things.
Okay. Back how we got here is transitioning from that self-employed to business owner. So, what would you say your biggest challenge? Let's touch on Balang first. What's the biggest challenge that you probably have faced
6 months, 6-7 months
into
also.
the business?
During
During
the business. It was during our bazaar phase.
Okay.
So yeah, this year is our first bazaar.
Yeah.
So we know a lot of prep needs to be done.
Yeah.
So we did all the orderings and all in advance. So I had to store everything in my house. So my house become a storage.
Yeah.
So my living room, the whole living room full of curtains. I have to shift my sofa to one side,
Yeah.
cover my TV,
Okay.
so that my house can be a storage space. So I've been living with my wife with my curtains of boxes, a lot.
Yeah.
In my house there's like 200 over curtains.
Is your wife involved full time in this also?
No,
she has a job?
she has a job. So she only helps me lah.
What is she doing?
She's a preschool teacher.
Right.
She's working in an international school lah.
Okay.
So she has a fair share of stress. So I don't want to
Stress her
stress her out
Okay.
even more.
Get it.
Yeah, but she's willing to go through it with me lah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So she also don't complain when I told her we need to use the house for storage. Why? Because we need to really take care of our finance. If we were to take up storage space, it will be expensive, really expensive at the point of time. So I told her, okay, for the meantime, let's just use our house first. Boleh tak? Boleh lah you. Kita beli beras. Tak ada.
Tapi dia yang masak. Okay.
So yeah, she's very understanding.
I think she's willing to support also because I know this is how I see. It's also something very interesting or motivating for her also, coming back from the stress of work here and then knowing that the spouse is building something and
she witnessed it lah.
Yeah,
she witnessed
the
it.
whole journey. Yeah.
She see firsthand lah,
Yeah.
the struggle that we had to go through. Yeah, I wouldn't say I had to go through. I would say we both had to go through because she's a part of me, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So she would see the ugly side of me lah. When I need to hustle, do this, do that, this and that.
Yeah.
My parents couldn't really meet me at some point of time because I was too occupied with doing all the back end things. And also at that point of time, our event because Balang is on event basis, right?
Yep.
So there are certain months where kita tak ada event. Tak ada salary, tak ada apa-apa.
Your workers are all part-time
Part-timers.
Okay.
Luckily they are part-timers, so we only pay them during events.
Yeah.
But at the point of time, I was like, I got house to pay.
Yeah.
I need to feed my wife.
Correct.
I don't have events.
No.
I have nothing. I don't have any massage appointments at the point of time. So I was like, kita jangan makan luar Kadang-kadang dia ajak makan luar pun, I was like, I don't feel like eating But the fact that poket tengah kosong so it was really that bad. Because we are struggling, right? We want to really grow the business. So there's sacrifice needs to be made.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of bukan kita ada tak ada duit, kita ada.
Yeah.
But the money is used for the business. We are investing in the business. We want the business to grow. So we had to really ikat perut
Yeah.
for this to happen.
And this is all unseen.
Unseen is only between the two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of course by impression like Balang.SG is doing good.
It's
doing
good.
well.
Yes. The business is good.
Yeah, but of course behind
Behind the struggle, behind every businesses, every successful man, there is always a struggle, which we don't see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence
Even for yourself, I believe.
Hence the talk show name behind their success is something that people don't see and you don't share because as a business person, why would we share also? These are our vulnerability and we cannot just share outrightly to anyone. So having these struggles, no one knows. It's just between you and your wife. So interesting. But what was the expansion plan, or how do you intend to take this Balang.SG to another level where eventually you can overcome this challenge of not having events or being in the mercy of organizer?
Our business is based on events, kan? So we have plannings to actually venture into maybe caterings. But that is still in our plannings lah. But for now, we are doing ad hoc events, birthday events. We have already ventured into corporate events. Yeah, so we are slowly venturing out, to other market as well. Yeah. So Alhamdulillah, so far it has been going according to our plans. So
But is there any plans for maybe franchise or plans for partnership with other people to make it grow concurrently? So rather than having only one event, there's another aspect of avenue to introduce Balang.
Not for now.
Not for now. Okay.
Yeah, franchising is not part of our plans yet.
Opening up, I don't know, a brick and mortar store.
No, okay. The reason why we want to go through event basis is so that we can actually control our expenses. When you have a physical shop, the expenses are fixed.
Yep.
Right, the rental is fixed.
Yep.
And the number one killer for a business is rental. For a brick and mortar shop lah. If let's say the shop has very low footfall, the chances of you to sustain the shop is very, I would say.
Hawker is, do you intend to go in? Where you probably introduce, say, 6 flavors, but it's a preview of the event.
Oh, no, not that one is not part of our plans.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we have our own plannings, like I said just now. So inshallah, may everything go smoothly for Balang.SG lah.
I'm excited. Okay, so how with all these events coming up, a lot more events are coming up. A lot of new organizers are just appearing and then organize these events. And I realized one thing that is on the rise: your competition.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe you can share, or you can talk a bit more about competition. Like, how has that affected your business plan, or your expansion plan, or how has that affected your business?
Competition is good because it makes us reflect on ourselves, on our business. Are we on the right track or not? Are we being complacent? Or is there any way that we can improve our business? That is one thing I like about healthy competition. But if you were to ask me if I'm really affected by my competitors, no, I'm not.
So you mentioned your first event kan, your target is 900 per day. How has that changed from then to now?
Events after events, of course our target have grown. Yeah. So slowly lah, but we don't really put a high target for ourselves because we want to see the growth. And because this thing is a long term, so we don't really pressure ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but by record, if you know, what's the highest number of cups you sold in a day?
Around 3,000.
Wow, 3,000
record.
And this is which event?
OLG Fest.
OLG Fest. So that's the best.
The best
event.
The best and the most tiring.
Yeah.
Because everyone is needed on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 3,000 cups. Do you think is a lot more 3,000 customers, or is just that one customer are buying a lot, like maybe 2-3 cups?
Yes, it's like that. It's like that. One customer. Sometimes they combine orders.
Right.
It's like that.
Do you use POS system or just
POS have to use POS system.
Still use POS it's not like macam manual.
Manual tak.
I don't know how you're gonna count lah.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay,
so we have POS system lah.
Wow, 3,000 cups per day. And will your price remain at $5?
Yes.
It will for now. It will
for now it will.
No intention of.
So far no intentions yet.
Because even increment of $1, if let's say really hit that 3,000, it's a good profit.
Yeah.
For you. So far
no plans yet. We see how the inflation goes lah.
Yeah.
For now, we are still at $5.
And OLG Fest. So I don't know whether you are comfortable to share, but for that OLG Fest, you say OLG Fest is the best event for you. Do you remember the whole event? How many cups do you manage to sell?
Tak kira sih. Tak kira.
Tak kira. Is it consistent each day 3,000?
Tak lah.
Tak.
Dia varies ah. It varies.
So I would say minimally it has really hit 5,000 cups.
Minimally, yes.
Minimally 5,000 cups.
Like I said, because kita punya concept is we go by volume, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
You have to.
we have to.
Correct. Wow, interesting. So for those of them who are intending to enter the events side and opening up their own F&B stall, what advice do you have for them?
Don't be afraid. You must have the jiwa tu nak kena kuat tau orang cakap.
Resilience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must have the mental resilience.
Yeah.
And you must have the grit. GRIT.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. When you have that, then work towards it. Inshallah, everything will go smoothly. I always tell my friends who wants to start a business, actually, if you want to test your product during an event, is good because the startup capital is not so much as compared to you suddenly open a physical store. Yeah, it's a cheaper option lah.
But the
for you
cost
to test.
stall is still quite expensive, right?
It's expensive. I think it's around 2.7.
Yeah.
It's around 2.7. But that's only for one event lah.
Yeah.
If you were to start your business, straight away buka kedai and all, more capital.
Correct.
Then you are not so sure whether the product boleh pergi ke tak.
Yeah.
So might as well you try on a smaller scale dulu. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a good platform lah for you to try.
Got it. And after running through these events for this 1 year, you know, meeting people from different stalls, what do you think are some of the mistakes that people who want to join the events are doing or have done that you might want to share? Or even personally, any mistake that you think you have done that, okay, this is something that you shouldn't have done, but it's a learning point for you. Is there any one common mistakes or some of the mistakes?
Yes, along the way there are few mistakes that we make. For example, miscalculation of our budget per event. So sometimes the manpower exceeds, you know, that kind of things. And then sometimes we over prepared the drinks, the premix, you know, and the crowd wasn't that great. So all this, it requires a lot of experience, on the ground experience, for you to really gauge whether should I prepare more, prepare less. Because if you were to prepare more, then it can be a wastage.
Yep.
If you prepare less, it can be also wastage because you cannot get the customers.
Correct.
Yeah. So this one is a learning journey for me. And then some things, for example you nak masuk first event, don't put so much expectation on yourself, because if let's say the product doesn't, the turnout doesn't, is not to your expectation, you will be so hard on yourself that you might just want to give up. Let it be a motivation factor for you to keep on brainstorming new ideas on how you can make it better.
But you ordered the premix, the ingredients, the buckets, I think, way in advance from the event, right?
Yeah.
So for those of them who are into this event, so if they want to start out, but of course they have not done before, how are they able to gauge? Because again, we don't want to under, but also don't want to over. You know, so how can they gauge?
For me, what I did was, we went to the different kind of events, and we see how is the turnout like. Yeah, then from there, then we can slowly gauge
the footfall.
Yeah, the footfall for the whole event, that kind of thing. And if let's say if you are planning to sell something that other stall are selling, for example, you are selling, taklah jual hot dog ke, jual keropok leko ke, then you have first hand experience, you can see what kind of crowd are they getting, that kind of things. Then from there you have to learn lah.
Okay, so
but don't be afraid to make mistakes lah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So we touch on IBW. So how do you manage it in sense where in terms of your marketing, your branding. So, and to get clients, how do you do it?
Okay, for me, I have my own clients, back in AIA kan. So I already have the clients. So I told them that I'm in this IBW now,
Okay.
which is a better place lah. So if you need an advice ke apa, you can just meet up and all.
Okay.
But that is just for them. Tapi if you're talking about marketing and all, now my work is based on networking. I'm more of networking. Yeah, so I network around with business owners, with people from all walks of life actually. Yeah. So yeah, that's when if they were to ask me, what do you do? Are you doing this full time or what? I said, yeah, I'm doing all this full time. And then your Balang.SG, are you doing full time? Yeah, I'm also doing it full time. And then, oh, you do everything? Yeah, everything also I do. Oh. I mean, I have mouth to feed lah.
Yeah.
You have to hustle lah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, because why I'm asking you that is because I just want to know, like, do you cross it with your other business where for Balang.SG you actually put your name card there ke, for Bodyfix, that is your breakthrough or the gate towards the investment side. So okay, people go to Bodyfix, eventually they also sign up as your client.
I have plannings for that, but so far it has not been in place yet. Yeah.
Okay.
So inshallah.
Because you have a product, which is Balang, for example, the Balang.SG, you have a product. So if it was me where I have a product, I would definitely have this thinking like, okay, how can we merge? Subtly.
Correct,
you don't want to be in the face,
correct.
Just subtly.
Yeah.
So just thinking.
Been thinking about it.
Right.
It's really nice if let's say I get to, cross the whole three business together.
Yes. Run with me. I'm always curious to ask people this. How's your day in life? How do you manage your day to day?
Every day I will go to the office.
Okay.
I go there to do all my admins. See, this is my IBW business.
Okay.
And then when there's appointment, I'll go for appointments. Yeah, every day. Kalau ada appointments, I will go for appointments and all. Bodyfix SG kira is on appointment basis juga. So because it's appointment basis, it doesn't really clash with my IBW appointments.
Yeah.
I can just slot it in according to my availability lah.
Yeah.
And then for Balang.SG pula, it is event basis.
Yeah.
So only certain weekends.
Yeah.
So I really have to be on the schedule kind of thing.
Correct.
Yeah. Time management is really key, because for Balang.SG, even though it's a weekend thing, but I have to do the preparation.
Yeah. How many days in advance do you usually have to prepare?
Sometimes 1 week in advance.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I take my time to do, because I cannot be doing the whole day on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Bodyfix is as and when
Bodyfix is as and when.
Okay.
Because the demand is there. The demand is
Do you
there.
intend to
So
hire people?
yes, I have plans to hire people. That is the only way that I can automate the business.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see.
Inshallah.
I will be okay. Let's. There's a certain. We talk about your relating to Balang. There's a certain stall who opens up in every event possible. Where sometimes during that weekend there might be island-wide. There might be 2 or 3 different locations.
Yeah.
And they are there in all 2 or 3 locations. Like, is it gonna be the same as Balang.SG?
First is always the manpower issue lah.
Okay.
That is one thing that is it's really hard, because for us to operate a booth, we cannot run the booth with just 3 manpower. Cannot. Kalau tak, dorang hari-hari berpeluh, dorang nak kena buat apa orang panggil kena sprint
Yeah.
from
the
one
cashiering,
cashiering, scooping, then nak kena serve semua kan. It's very tiring for manpower. So of course we are actually planning to open up to more events if possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of plannings that needs to be done on our side, which we are currently going through all the plannings together with my partners.
What is one lesson that you feel you have learned that has stayed with you up until now? Where, okay, there's this one lesson, life lesson you've learned through this entrepreneurship that you never forget. Is there any?
You are in this business for a reason. You don't want to play around with what you have built so far. You see, when you are an entrepreneur, you are not backed by any other companies. If let's say you were to go sideways, the whole thing will crumble down. There are consequences to your actions. So myself, what I've really learned from the past is that now I am a self-employed. I am paying my house with cash. See, I need to have a solid savings, a form of savings that can supplement my house. This is what most of the young entrepreneurs sometimes they are not aware of this, and also they thought, I can just put my money in my savings account, let it grow. But then sooner or later you will find that you keep on using the money from inside the bank account, so it doesn't grow. You see, whereas people who are working, they have their CPF contribution, they have their employer contribution to their CPF. So technically, if they just earn 2,000 a month, alright, then they have their CPF, they can have a house easily, and they don't need to think about, next month can I pay my house bill? You still can, bro. You just relax je. Tunggu duit retirement dah settle.
Correct.
Tapi ni kita tak ada this form of savings, so we need to solidify our savings.
The money management is
the money management is really, really important. It's the key for you to really grow.
And you've learned this because of the mistakes that you did.
Yes.
During the first few years of
the first few years. Because it doesn't matter how much money you make, but it's about how much money you have.
Yes. I've told this to a lot of entrepreneurs, even agents, where it doesn't matter how much you earn. It matters how much you spend. And how much you have left.
Yes, correct. That is really important, and that is the key for us to grow. Especially if let's say you have future plans and all, you need to have a solid savings.
Yes.
If not, how are you going to survive?
Correct.
Might as well go sign on lah.
And you never know when you need that buffer for rainy days. Sometimes maybe the next 3 months out of nowhere, no business.
You really need the emergency funds. And another thing that I learned, when you are an entrepreneur, I mean for me as a Muslim kan, you tend to really rely on Allah tau. You tahu, I can just work so much, I can just put on effort this much, but the rest I have to leave it up to Allah. There are certain things that I cannot control, but the things that I can control, I control. When the tough times, when you have to experience the tough times, that's where you betul-betul tahu macam Allah is testing me for greater things. So I have to be patient, I have to go through with this. This is what I want. InsyaAllah, if everything goes smoothly, Allah will take care of me, and Allah will provide me with so much better in the future. It really gives me that kind of faith.
It's a blessing because it got you closer.
Yes. You really believe rezeki tangan Allah. Kalau kau dah nak jual macam mana pun, kau berbual dengan klien kau macam mana pun, kalau dia tak nak beli, Allah yang gerakkan. Allah determines your rezeki. And also when you are doing business, I mean, there's always, we were always being taught that the more we give, the more you get. And when you are in this business, when you are an entrepreneur, you can really experience it. The act of giving is better than the act of receiving, right? They say. So the more you give, you boleh rasa tau, rezeki aku ni, aku boleh rasa berkat dia tau. Rasa macam, cukup je ni. Walaupun, okay, business not doing good this month, tapi semua cukup I get to put food on the table. I get to go out with my wife, spend time with my family. I mean, and I'm still in good health. MashaAllah. You should be very thankful. And then when months where you have a lot of events. Sekali you sakit.
Betul.
InsyaAllah, ya Allah, ni mungkin bukan rezeki aku. Allah cakap kau nak rezeki, aku kasih kau rezeki. Sekarang kau boleh handle tak? Yeah.
It's a message, it's
Yeah.
a preview of
Hmm.
what you asked for and a test.
You ask for it, I give you. Can you keep up to it?
Just last few questions. Just want to ask you what kind of legacy or impact that you feel you want to leave behind in this world.
Honestly, I have never thought of that. But I want people to remember me to be the person who hustle, to the person who is responsible. You know, like, dia ni dulu dia hustle gila sih. You know, we saw him building his empire for his wife, for his family. You know, I want people to at least, you know, be the witness lah. If let's say nanti dekat akhirat nanti kan, orang tanya what has he done in this world, I want them to see, I want them to know that, you know, Syabil have done good deeds.
Right.
I want them to be the witness. Yeah.
Okay, last question for
Alright.
today before we will end it off with a game.
Alright,
Okay?
sure.
Okay, last one. Maybe is there any last piece of words of wisdom, you know, or last piece of advice for anyone out here who is watching, who are right now on the edge of wanting to transition from being a salaried employee to an entrepreneur or self-employed, you know, but are still very afraid of doing so, taking that leap of faith. You know, is there any good advice for them right now? Because it's a scary journey.
Yes,
you know,
indeed.
yeah, especially when you are very stable right now with your salaried job, and then coming into this uncertainty where you don't know whether you can earn or not, or
Yeah.
whether you can work, you know, or someone who just fresh off NS,
Mhm.
they are trying to see whether salaried or self-employed. Yeah, is there any advice?
If you have a dream, you go for it. Because there will be a point in time where you will look back in your life and you feel regret. I should have done this years back. I should have done this. I should have done that. Now, all that is all regrets.
Yeah, yeah.
So, while you still have the time, you still have the health, you know, if you have the support from, for example, if you have a wife, if your wife is very supportive, your family is supportive, then go for it. Just go for it. If let's say you fail, it's okay. You know, I've done it, I have experienced it. No one have done it, no, but me.
Yeah.
You know? And if people were to say, hey, you should have done this, I have done that already, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
I've done it, I have experienced it, and that's enough. At least you've tried, rather than you never try.
Yeah. And there will always be what if in your head
Yes.
if you never try.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So, a planning without action is nothing. It's still a planning. So, the first step is always the hardest, but the first step will lead to your second step. And it will lead to your third step, fourth, fifth, and so on. Yeah.
A
So,
dream will always remain a dream with the execution.
yes.
I think that's where you
Yes.
where you're going.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing everything from, you know, your past, you know, your journey. You know, it's really inspiring, I would say. The hardship that you face, the whole uncertainty, and how you recovered from that is really beneficial for not only to them but even myself right now. Listening to you is actually very inspiring.
Alhamdulillah. InsyaAllah.
But let's end this off by playing a game. So
Okay.
how this works is I'm going to give you random words.
Okay.
It's not so random lah.
Okay.
It's with me. Okay, I'm going to give you certain words. And every time I say each word, just let me know a phrase or a word that immediately comes to mind. Hardship.
Pain.
Pain. Okay. Success.
It's never easy.
It's never easy. Okay. Interesting. How about money?
Tool.
That's good.
Yeah.
They say money can buy happiness, but actually it's not. It's the tool to happiness.
Yes.
Interesting. Support.
Wife.
Love that. I love that. Okay. Last but not least, impact.
Action.
Action. Okay, just one last thing that I just want to ask you. How do you define success?
Ooh, ni deep.
Yeah.
Okay, success. For me, success is not about material, right? Owning something is still not a success, because if you were to have a car, it's a liability. Okay. Success to me is when I have the time for my family, when I have the time for to spend with my loved ones, and I have things running for me. I still have income and I can spend time with my family. That is success. Right now, if you were to ask me whether I have achieved success, I'm halfway there, I guess. It's a work in progress, but that's where I am going for.
For you, success is the freedom of time.
Yes.
Alright. Excellent. Love the answer. Thank you so much once again, Syabil, for being here and being part of this talk show.
Masya Allah.
It's
Thank
an
you to
honor.
you and the team for inviting me.
No problem. It's an honor to have you here also, actually.
Inshallah.
Second guest for Behind Their Success.
Yes.
Lovely. Thanks a lot for coming over. Okay. Is there anything you like to... Ni kan macam shameless plug ah. Is
Apa
there
tu?
anything that you like to say to the audience? Maybe how they can follow you, how they can keep up with your journey, see your progress. What's the IG handle that maybe they can
Right,
follow?
if you want to follow up with my life, follow up with my progress, okay, you can look at my IG handle, syabilmarzuq.ibw. Alright. Yeah, feel free to contact me if you have any questions with regards to investments, with regards to how to get into the journey of entrepreneurship, with regards to if you have any birthday events, you want Balang to be of your service, just contact, okay? But better to just contact Balang.SG punya IG lah.
Yeah.
Don't spam my IG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much once again, Syabil. Right, so this is the second episode of Behind Their Success. Do like and follow us on YouTube, Spotify, IG, TikTok, wherever lah that we are on right now. And I'm excited once this episode is out. Once again, thank you so much, Syabil, and I'm looking forward to push out more videos for you. And if you have any recommendation on any guests that would like to be featured here, do let us know also. So once again, Firdaus here, Syabil here. Thank you. See you again.